Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. I'm sitting here in my country kitchen. Um, I do a lot of videos here in my kitchen. Um, it's one of my favorite places to be. My husband's actually out in the garage, so I can actually do my video in here. um, I give him a hard time, but I love him and everything. But it is hard to do videos when you have a man coming in and out of the house, and I just can't do it. But anyway, I'm taking a break. I've been working in my kitchen most of the day. We're actually getting ready to replace my kitchen sink next week, and I'm very excited about it because this sink I have, I'm just ready to get rid of it. It's an enamel sink, and it's like they call it a biscuit color. It's very, very light. I call it a cream color, and I've had it for probably more than 20 years. And when I first got it, I was so excited about it. I thought it was just so beautiful, and I just did not know what I was getting in for. I had a stainless steel sink before, and I just thought this sink was just, a bag of chips and all that, And with a very short time, this sink, it started chipping. When you done your dishes, and if you had pots and pans, you had to be very, very careful when you did your dishes and everything. And I had an iron skillet and barely touched it, and wow, it just chipped it. And something else chipped it. And over the years, it just became chipped and stained. No matter how, good I was to clean it and try to keep it clean, it just became stained. Like I said, it was just a really light cream color, and I just got to where I just did not like it. And now it just looks, no matter, like I said, no matter how clean I am with it and try to clean it, it looks awful. And I'm ready to go back to stainless steel, and I'm very excited. But we paid, to me it was expensive to get a enamel, and so I just put up with it. And so a couple of years ago, I saved up and got a stainless steel, got another faucet, and we bought everything to go with it, but we just not had time to actually put it in. So now we're going to be able to put it in next week, and like I said, I'm just really excited about it. It's just the little things that excites me, just to have a new sink put in. I know the newness will wear off, pretty soon, and I'll go back to not wanting to do dishes or not liking to do dishes. But I'm going to enjoy doing dishes in my stainless steel sink for a little while. So what I've been doing is cleaning up under my sink this morning because my husband and his brother will be working up under the sink, putting new lines in, since they're going to do the sink. So they're going to put the new lines in up under the sink and working up under there too. And up under the sink has been a mess. It's surprising what you will accumulate up under your sink. And so I got up under there this morning, and I have been digging out just a mess up under there. So many like canning jars and lids, and I've been finding all kinds of sponges, dish sponges. I would buy them and then stick them up under there, so I don't have to buy any, dish sponges or the scrubby sponges or anything, probably for the next couple of years, because I have packs and packs of those. And the Mr. Clean magic erasers and things like that, I have been hoarding those up and did not realize how many I have under there. So yeah, I mean, I've got enough to do for several years probably. And canning jars, I don't really can anymore, but where I did used to can, I've just been, I guess I just would stick them up under the sink. So I've got a few boxes of those boxed up. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all this stuff, but I've got the sink all cleaned out and ready for them for next week. So that's what I've been doing. And I decided to sit down and take a break a little while ago, and I But yeah, I realized this was in the way. Let me move it back some. What this actually is, I sat down to work on sewing up some skirts. These are new skirts I got last week. They're comfortable summer skirts I got, and they had splits up the side. And I don't like a lot of skirts that's got those big splits that almost go up to your hips. And I always sew them up. It seems like you can't hardly get a decent skirt anymore that doesn't have those splits. And you know, like my name says, Simply Debbie Sue. I am a simple person, a plain person, and I don't like a lot of, you know, those splits that do go all the way up to the side. So I found these skirts, and I got two of them. One is it's like a blue plaid, and I just love that these have like drawstring waistbands. And see the pattern on it's plaid, and they're really long, but they have layers to them, and I just love the style of them. But on one side, like the split goes way up to about here, and I've been working on sewing the splits down so far, not all the way down to the end, because I want to be able to walk in them and just have some freedom. So I've been sewing the split about halfway to where it was. So I got this skirt, and I got another one, the same style, just a different color. See the drawstrings? And so this one is like a burgundy plaid with pink in it. So I can wear like a pink shirt or a burgundy. And I got pink and burgundy. So I've got that one and this blue plaid, dark blue and a light blue. So I've been sitting here while I've been on break. I got my sewing box out. And I've got one already sewed up. I got the blue one already sewed up. And I'm going to work on I hope I have time to work on this burgundy one. And I'll have both of them sewed up hopefully by today. And I can start wearing them. But they're just long and flowing. They're very thin. They're really thin for the summer. The rest of the summer anyway. And just wear them with a light, you know, short sleeve or 3/4 sleeve blouse with some just light shoes. But that's what I've been doing today, and I actually bought a pair of shoes that I didn't need. My husband calls me Imelda Marcos because I love shoes and I have so many shoes, and but I bought them on clearance, and but every time I buy a pair of shoes, he calls me Imelda Marcos. You remember Imelda Marcos from the Philippines that had like 3,000 pair of shoes or more? And I think she told the Filipino people that she only had like 1,000 and so many, but reports for she had about 3,000 pair of shoes. And I think they said that they were in a museum. They had put like 1,000 or so pair of shoes in a museum, and they displayed like so many hundreds of shoes, and so many hundreds they had put actually in storage, and then there were so many hundreds that actually got ruined from rain, where the museum leaked or something in rain. So her reports to the Filipino people that she only had like 1,000 and some, but they said she actually had over 3,000 some. And why I'm bringing all that up, I don't know. But it's just fascinating how we are, you know, how we are fascinated with certain things. But shoes is the thing that I'm fascinated with. Some people are fascinated with like handbags. Some, you know, it's clothes. But I've always been fascinated with shoes. And I think maybe that is because, you know, growing up, you know, we were always poor growing up. And we didn't have a lot of shoes. When, you know, my parents, they always tried to, you know, get what we needed and everything. We didn't really do without shoes, but we just didn't have a lot of shoes. And when we started school, my parents, you know, got us a pair of shoes to start in school. We didn't get like 2 and 3 or 4 pair of shoes like, you know, some people like today, you know, they have all these expensive shoes and everything. But when we grew up, we would get a pair of shoes to start in school with. And when we would come home, we would take what we call our school shoes off, And we love to go barefoot. You know, like if it was warm weather or whatever, we would love to go out and go barefooted and just run around barefoot. It didn't bother us. And sometimes that's the way we went. And if we had like an old pair of shoes, you know, we would put them on if we wanted to. And like when it come like around Christmas time, you know, we may get another pair of shoes and clothes. And then the shoes we started in school, of course, they were probably getting old by Christmas time. So we would wear those old shoes around the house or whatever. And that's the way it was. We may have only got a couple pair of shoes throughout the year. So I don't know. That may be where my fascination with shoes comes in. Is we didn't have a whole lot of shoes. So when I became an adult, I love shoes, and now I have a closet full of shoes, but they're not expensive shoes. I'm not into big expensive shoes. I will buy shoes that's on clearance or just shoes that are, you know, discounted shoes or whatever. That's just me. I'm not a fancy person, so I'm not into expensive shoes. But I will buy discounted shoes or shoes on clearance, and I just like, you know, comfortable shoes. So yeah, my husband he calls me a Mel Marcos because I do have quite a bit of shoes. So that's my shoe story. But and I have a little bit of tea left. So let me tell you what happened with the tea incident. Before I started this video, I was getting ready to click record, you know, to record my video, and then the phone rung, my landline rung. So I didn't, you know, record my video yet. So I got up to answer the phone, and it was just a scam call or whatever. So when I come back down, I must have upset my tea. And I looked down, and tea was all going all over the table, and it was getting ready to spill out on my lap. So I had to clean up my tea real quick, and I'd only got a few sips of tea. This is not hot tea. It's just cold tea that I got out of a jug. So I only got a few sips of my cold tea, and I've only got maybe a sip or two left. So it was just like I did, you know, something was trying to stop me from doing my video. So I'm going to have to pour me just a little bit more tea in here when I get done. And then I'm going to have to get back to work. I'm probably going to try to sew up this skirt and do some more work in the kitchen. But I wanted to just pop in while I had a little bit of time to myself to get this video done, because my husband's going to come back from the garage pretty soon and probably interrupt my video. But I would just want to pop in today and wish y'all, you know, a good day as usual, a blessed day, and just tell you about my morning, you know, my day so far, what I'm in. And oh yeah, I also made some no-bake cookies earlier this morning before I got started on my, you know, cleaning out of my sink and everything. I had I think it was on Facebook or somewhere, some no-bake cookies about a week or so ago. And ever since then, I've been wanting no-bake cookies. It's been probably 5 or 6 years since I made those. And ever since I saw that, I wanted to make some no-bake cookies. So I got started on making those no-bake cookies, and I got everything out and, you know, prepared it and got them together, and I made the cookies, and I got everything done, and I dropped them on to the wax paper, and then I looked over at the end of my table, and I realized the vanilla was sitting at the end of my table, and I forgot to put the vanilla in there. I said, oh well, you know, whatever. But they'll probably be good without the vanilla. When I try them after a while, on my next video, I'll let you know how they were without the vanilla. I don't think it's going to make a great big difference without the vanilla. So I did make some no-bake, you know, those no-bake chocolate cookies with the oatmeal in it and the cocoa and the peanut butter. Been around forever and ever. So I did make some no-bake chocolate cookies, and I will let you know the chocolate oatmeal cookies. So I'll let you know on my next video how they turned out, omitting the vanilla. So I hope you all have a great day today, a blessed day. God loves you, and so do I. And thanks for watching.